What's up, YouTube, man? We're back at it again, man. Doing what we love to do, man. Analyzing creepy TikToks. TikTok's gonna give you chills. That's gonna make you question reality. It's gonna raise your vibrations. Anything and everything, man, you can find here on this channel, bro. So let's dive on in.
In this game properly, they say you will go insane. This game
A lot
is
of people
known
play these
as
games
Sarah
again, bro.
Sarita. This game involves contacting the spirits of two young girls
I don't do
who
that.
were murdered. Now, to play this game, you need 2 players and 2 coins. Sit on the ground facing each other while holding the coins. Now say out loud, Sarah Sarita, can I enter your game? Throw the coins over your heads. Now, if both coins land on heads, that means yes. If both coins land on tails, that means no. If one coin lands on heads and the other lands on tails, that means maybe. So if you both got yes, now you can start asking Sarah and Sarita yes or no questions, just by throwing the coins over your heads.
Don't do
So
it.
as you can see, it says, it is important to end this game properly, or they say bad things will happen. Some people say Sarah and Sarita are the ghosts of 2 murdered girls. Others say they are evil spirits or demons communicating from hell. To exit the game, you need to say, Sarah Sarita, can I leave your game? And throw the coins over your head to get the answer. If the answer is no, you need to keep trying until you get a yes. And as you can see, it says, warning, some people have found that this game is very difficult to get out of. There are reports that even though they did everything properly to end the game, it does not really end. Hours after playing the game and ending it, they get a sense that something is wrong. They say out loud, Sarah Sarita, am I still in your game? And when they throw the coin over their head, they get the answer, yes. So be careful.
That couldn't be me. Alright, next one.
A woman who was missing for 30 years was just found alive in Puerto Rico.
Damn.
So Patricia Copta vanished without a trace from her home in Pennsylvania in 1992. The situation surrounding her disappearance was a little strange and scary because Patricia's mental health had been getting worse and worse over the years. So when she disappeared, the police told her younger sister and husband that they thought she left on her own accord and basically closed the case.
Damn.
They thought that she would maybe come back, but then 30 years went by with no phone calls.
Imagine it's just leaving like for 30 years.
In her life would assume she passed away. But recently, an 83-year-old woman in an elderly home in Puerto Rico started opening up to a nurse for the first time. The woman had been diagnosed with dementia and started bringing up things in her life that she had never spoken about before. This alarmed one of the nurses at the facility, who contacted authorities to get a DNA test because she started believing that this woman was a missing woman from the United States.
She knew.
And sure enough, it was Patricia. She had never told anyone about her previous life and had never contacted her family. Her husband and sister were contacted because they're still alive, and they were shocked.
Imagine you finding out your dead relative is alive for
the
past
house
30 years,
the doctor who never came home.
The doctor never came home. What the hell?
David Lidgy was a respected doctor who left for work as normal one day in June of 2011.
David Lidgy. What happened to him?
He was never seen again, leaving his family home and possessions behind.
What the hell? We live inside his house, man. What the heck? That's weird.
The house now sits abandoned while his family have tried their best to move on with their lives.
They can't, because they got this whole house dedicated to him, man. And they're really inside.
In 2020, there was a legal battle to have David declared legally dead.
Because he never came back, right? What the hell is that? Damn, demon or something, man?
Let's talk about the Night Lady. This is a true story. The Night Lady terrorized the town of Chihuahua in Mexico in the year 2009. It all started in the town of Chihuahua, Mexico. From the year 2009 to 2014, people will be going about their business and they will see a random lady on the rooftop of a building. They thought to themselves, this is very weird. What is that lady doing up there? Some of them will try to ask her, what are you doing up on that roof? But she didn't pay any attention to them. And since she was not disturbing anyone, They just left her. That was a big mistake. Because at midnight, she would come down from that roof, go into the building of the house, and kidnap the child in that building. There were so many recorded cases of kidnapped children by the night lady. By the way, they call her the night lady because no one knows her name. One day, she kidnapped a very stubborn boy. He was not only stubborn, he was also smart. This boy found a way to free himself. When he freed himself, he turned around and saw her staring at him with a knife in her hand. The boy turned around and ran away. She tried to catch him, but the boy was running for his life. So you tell me who will run faster? The boy was able to escape her, and he went straight to the police. After he described the way the woman looked to the police, this was the sketch that they made of her. This is the face of the night lady. In that same night, this picture was taken by a 14-year-old standing on the roof. But the girl who took this picture went missing shortly after. She was never found. All the children who she kidnapped were never found. She was never found. This is one of the biggest mysteries in Mexican crime history. How will all these children go missing and someone will tell me they can't find one woman of whom they have a picture? But tell me, what would you do if you saw a woman standing on your roof in
an activity? In case the even police just couldn't explain. Alright.
Old times I do remember, that was cold times, jacket weather. Life could be a stone cold killer, but at the same time I'm glad I met her. Yeah, I went through some rough
Okay, what the hell is this right here? What's she eating? What's in this volume now, y'all?
But now I'm glad I'm better. Could've went mad like Arthur Fleck. Back then I had the baddest temper.
What?
The story of this American female serial killer will make your hair stand up.
Alright.
As if her crimes are not horrific enough, she earned the nickname the Giggling Granny.
The Giggling
Creepy
Granny.
as that. Nanny Doss was raised on a farm by a very controlling father, and one of the few joys that she had in life was sneaking into her mother's room and reading her romance novels, and she would daydream about the day that she'd be swept off her feet and have her happily ever after. And she got married to her first husband at the age of 16, and it was a miserable marriage.
16 is too young.
4 daughters together, 2 of which mysteriously died of food poisoning, at which point the husband took one remaining daughter and fled because he was scared to death of Nanny. The remaining infant baby named Florine was left with Nanny, and Nanny picked up and married somebody new. Now,
so his first husband
despite
suspected.
that, they were married 16 years and raised Florine together. This is where the bloodbath really begins. Nanny was in the room right after her daughter Melvina had given birth to her second grandchild, and while Melvina was still loopy from the labor drugs and she was exhausted, she could have sworn that she saw Nanny stick a hat pin in the baby's head. Melvina kind of passed out and went back to sleep, but when she came to, she started asking her family members, did Nanny have a hat pin and stick the baby in the head? And the family regretted to inform Melvina that the baby had in fact died, and yes, they did see Nanny holding a hat pin. However, the doctors couldn't give a positive explanation for the baby's death. The death of the baby absolutely shattered Melvina and her husband, and they started fighting and drifting apart, and Melvina started dating a soldier named Robert, whom Nanny did not approve of.
Oh, so
and
she
one night
did not
when
like
Melvina
him.
was out of the house and Robert was left alone with Nanny, Robert mysteriously died. And
Really?
Nanny received $500 in life insurance that she had taken out on Robert a couple weeks earlier. Not long after that, Nanny's husband forced himself on her, and she didn't like that, so she put rat poison in his corn whiskey jar, and he died that night.
Damn,
Nanny married her
she be
third
catching
husband only 3
bodies.
days after meeting him, and he died shortly after
she
this
just
of heart
married like
failure. She
that.
picked up some life insurance, bought some land, and built a new house. Her late third husband
This is
left behind
crazy.
a mother and a bedridden sister who also died shortly after.
She took out
At
the
this
whole
point, Nanny
family?
burned the house down, took that life insurance money, and moved on. Then Nanny landed a fourth husband, and at this point her mom moved in with him. She found out that her husband was cheating, so she poisoned him to death, and for good measure, she poisoned her mom to death too. Then she married her a fifth man named Samuel Doss, who was very disapproving of the romance novels that she loved to read. He went to the hospital one night with flu-like symptoms and was diagnosed with a severe digestive tract infection.
Did he make it?
He was treated and sent home. And a few days later, he showed up dead. The doctors were
How's
very
nobody
suspicious
putting
of
these
this, so they
clues
did an
together, bro?
autopsy and found enough arsenic in his system to kill 20 men.
Damn.
Nanny was arrested shortly after this and confessed to killing 4 of her husbands, her mother-in-law, her mother, her sister-in-law, and yes, sadly, even the baby with the hat pin.
Today we're
She
going to talk
murdered her
about
whole
the
damn family,
story
bro.
of Momo, and I just want
That
to
is
say that
crazy.
if pictures of Momo scare you, then I'd advise you to scroll now. You've been warned. Do we remember this lovely creature?
Momo Chan,
this
I remember
lovely,
that.
absolute fiasco that sent the internet into pure panic. And you know what? We're going to talk about it today.
Alright.
So, what was the Momo challenge, you ask? The Momo challenge is actually like an urban legend, sort of myth, hoax thing. However, from my research, it did actually make a few children and teens take their own lives, which I didn't actually know. It was kind of similar to Blue Whale in the sense of you would get challenges or things to do, and if you
I do remember the Momo challenge was like big, bro. I never did that.
Now, Momo was actually an art sculpture. Like there was no connect. It wasn't real. And it sort of blew up first in 2018, where people stole images of this sculpture and attached it to WhatsApp numbers, and people would contact these WhatsApp numbers, and Momo would tell them to do challenges. And if these challenges would include things such as SH and harming yourself.
What?
And when players refused to do them, Momo would threaten them with physical harm. Momo would also leak personal information from people,
leaking the info?
and things along those lines. If people also refused to do these challenges, Momo would send graphic and horrifying videos and images of things that I don't even think I can talk about on this app. After a while in 2018, it did sort of die down. However, it came up again in 2019 when it somehow made its way onto the YouTube Kids app. It was actually
I think I remember that.
I know, that sort of shared something about it, telling people what was going on YouTube Kids. I never actually saw any videos that had Momo in on YouTube
I think
Kids,
they took it down. I remember they was taking videos down like that.
I couldn't actually find names of children that ended up taking their own lives from this challenge.
I can't believe someone actually did that challenge.
Which is where this gets a little bit strange, because there is no direct correlation with these supposed deaths to the Momo challenge.
What the hell?
But there was instances of children having seizures because of this, because they were so scared, and including a 5-year-old boy that ended up phoning the police about Momo because he was so scared. In the YouTube Kids videos, Momo would say things that she was going to harm people's families and things like that.
How the hell did they make it to the YouTube Kids section?
There is someone behind this challenge.
So someone is doing this, bro?
There is people behind this challenge that has scared young children into doing these things. And that's why this case is so disgusting. And the fact that children
they've been doing this for
probably
a
took
while.
their own lives because of this game means that at the end of it, someone is to blame for that.
So they need to find out who's behind that case.
For so long due to this reason, because the information online is all over the place. But that's the vague story.
That's insane, bro. I remember that. I remember
Have
that
you ever
was
seen the
popular,
show
bro.
Sons of Anarchy? It was an extremely popular show
I've heard of it.
in 2014. Johnny Lewis was an actor on the show, and he played Half-Sack.
Okay.
But did you know that Johnny became a murderer?
What?
Johnny left the show in the 3rd season when the writing became too violent for him. It was after this that he moved into the Writer's Villa with Kathy Davis. The Writer's Villa was a place for up-and-coming artists to stay while they adjusted to Hollywood life. Kathy Davis was the owner, and she was wonderful.
Damn.
After Johnny left the show, he went to stay with Kathy, but when he found out his girlfriend was pregnant, he moved into an apartment with her.
Alright.
Their relationship wouldn't work out, and this ended in a vicious custody battle that Johnny lost.
Okay, so he couldn't get custody of his kid.
In October 2011, Johnny had a motorcycle accident, and doctors initially thought he might have a concussion, but testing showed otherwise. But it was after the accident that Johnny's behavior became erratic and scary.
Damn, so that
this was very
accident messed him up?
for Johnny, who was normally kind and quiet. Johnny started breaking into random houses and started fights with random people.
What?
This was extremely unusual behavior for him. After a few stays in jail, Johnny asked to go back to the Writer's Villa. It was the last place that he had found any kind of peace.
Okay.
Kathy and Johnny had become friends during his first stay, so she immediately let him come back in. Kathy was so much more than a landlord. She was kind and sweet and enjoyed getting to know the people who lived with her. She would often stay up with them, just listening to their struggles.
Oh, damn.
On September 26,
so she sounded like a nice person.
Johnny started beating on a man that
was painting the neighbor's house to the villa.
What?
The neighbors called police, and when police arrived, they found Johnny dead on the driveway. He had either jumped or fallen from the roof or from the patio that was 15 feet above him.
Do you know what?
And inside they found Kathy. She had been strangled and beaten to death by Johnny.
What?
Johnny had no drugs in his system, and the motive remains unsolved. If you want the full story,
That's
I just posted a YouTube video about it, so you can go check it out. It's linked in my bio. But let me know your thoughts on this.
He sounded so freaking nice and kind, and he just did that with no motive at all? I think that accident must have messed him up, bro.
Did you know that one of the most brutal crimes in North Carolina history is still unsolved to this day?
Really?
Police say it was the worst crime a small town in North Carolina has ever experienced.
So horrific that even today it continues to haunt residents in Windsor. Even worse, the killer's never been caught.
Damn,
Today we're going to be talking about the B-Lo grocery store murders that happened in 1993 in North Carolina.
Okay.
On June 6, 1993, a man walked into B-Lo grocery store just before closing, and he was able to hide within the aisles until all the employees closed and locked the doors for the night.
Oh, man.
At about 6:15 p.m., the employees closed and locked the store, and this is the exact time that he came out from wherever he was hiding and showed them that he was armed. It was only two employees that were at the front of the store at this time,
so he just did this
it seemed
for
like
no
he
reason?
just wanted to rob them because he ordered them to put cash and checks into a bag for him.
Okay.
Over the next few minutes, I believe he realized there were other employees inside the store, so after he got all of the cash in the bag, he ordered the two employees to head towards the back of the store and gather the rest of the three employees that were there.
What?
Once all of the employees were at the back of the store, he ordered one of the employees to gather a bunch of dog leashes and duct tape from the store and then bound and gag each one of the employees. One of the things that the employees really remember from this time is that he was holding them at gunpoint and telling them that he was a recently fired police officer and he had nothing to lose. This was really scaring them, obviously, to do whatever he had asked.
Yeah.
After all of the employees were tied up, he then stacked them into 3 piles of 2, so just 2 people stacked right on top of each other.
Okay.
And he then began to unload his weapon into the pile until it ran out of bullets.
What?
After this was done, he laid everyone down into just a row of 6 people because he wanted to see who was still alive.
Oh, man.
He then left and went through the store to grab a butcher knife. He returned and began attacking Jasper Hardy, who was uninjured from the gunfire.
What?
He was hitting Jasper with such force that the knife broke off into his back.
Oh my gosh,
There was only one person that was completely uninjured from this attack, and that was Thomas Hardy. Thomas claims that after Jasper was attacked with a knife, the attacker walked up to him and said, "I'm gonna let you live, big man." To which he just left the store.
What?
After the attacker left, 40-year-old Sylvester Welch, who was shot in the back, was able to crawl to the front of the store, get a phone, and call the police.
Alright.
The police arrived to an absolutely gruesome scene.
Yeah, imagine
a lot of
saying
police
that.
officers actually quit after this.
Really? They couldn't take it was that bad? Imagine you being a cop and you quit after seeing something. That's how you know it's different.
This picture famously surfaced from 1941 because something looks very off about it. This guy, a lot of people cite this picture as proof of time travel because not only does he seemingly look very modern and out of place, but he also appears to be holding a camera that's very small, too small for any commercial-grade camera of 1941. But let me explain why this is debunked. The modern t-shirt he's wearing, it's a logo for the Montreal Maroons, which was a hockey team from the 40s. The glasses were also available. They had protective side shields in the 40s too. But what about that camera?
Yeah,
it's small enough to be a digital camera, but they did not have commercial-grade cameras that were this small in the 40s. Incorrect. Kodak confirmed of a rare model of a small portable camera that was limited, but it was available by 1941, which makes this photo completely plausible.
It still looked like he kind of time traveled. It did look like he belonged there,
never
bro.
Watch at night. We all know how there's some videos where you just can't watch them at night because they're that scary. Well, in this series, I'll be showing you all of those videos.
Okay.
So be ready to get terrified.
Who are you?
Hell no. What the? It's like a person wearing a damn mask or something. I'm trying to scare you. What the?
Well, I know I'm not sleeping after watching that video.
Oh, hell no, bro.
This video has been going viral recently, and nobody knows the origins of it.
Yeah, like, what the hell?
It shows what appears to be a ghostly woman standing outside of some man's window at night,
bro.
and she says something took her daughter and did this to her. But nobody knows what that is.
It says, let me inside.
The man who uploaded the video hasn't updated anybody on if he's seen her again, or if he's okay, leaving people to worry about him.
Yeah, bro.
But I can't imagine looking out my window at night and seeing this.
Like, what the hell is that?
And decided to unalive her to try and cover up what he had done.
What?
Paris Bennett was only 13 years old when he committed this absolutely disgusting crime.
Only 13?
And he was sentenced to 40 years in prison when he was arrested in 2007. As a child, Paris was known to be charismatic and
try to do you and try to unalive her, bro.
Reported to have an IQ of 140.
So he was smart, bro.
And after Paris's younger sister Ella was born, he started to show resentment and that he was no longer the main focus of his mother.
Damn.
And 1 year prior to the unaliving of his sister Ella, he was actually in a mental health facility after he had attempted to stab his mother, Charity.
So he been had problems.
This is what Paris Bennett looks like now, and he has been described as a psychopath because of the vile nature of his crime. On February 4th, 2007, Charity Lee had removed her regular waitressing job and left her children under the supervision of a babysitter. In the absence of his mother, Paris Bennett had persuaded his babysitter to leave early.
Damn.
Later that night, sometime before 11:30 p.m., Paris entered Ella's room. He choked and SA'd her, and then he stabbed her 17 times. Following the unaliving, he called a school friend for about 6 minutes before deciding to call 911 at 11:40.
So he called the cops on himself?
On this call, Paris appeared to fake insanity, telling the dispatcher that he thought Ella was an inflamed, pumpkin-headed demon, and that's why he stabbed her.
What?
Once the dispatcher instructed Paris to perform CPR, instead of doing this, he decided to pace the room and count with the dispatcher.
Oh, so they
He
knew.
didn't even perform CPR on his little sister.
And it was a sister.
Paris was later arrested sometime before 12.
This is insane, bro. What the hell?
Motive to harm his sister was to get back at his mother. Years later,
Crazy,
Charity
bro.
Lee, which was Paris's and Ella's mom, had revealed details of her conversation with her son in the aftermath of the traumatizing.
What do you have to say?
And this is where I'm going to leave it for part 1, and just literally part 2 will be up in just a second.
Over the past few days, there have been numerous gruesome murder reports. One of the victims was the elementary school teacher Isabel Jackson.
Really?
Isabel called 911 in the midst of her attack.
Okay.
However, the address that she provided led the police to a completely different crime scene.
Damn, okay.
The address belonged to a family of 3, Janice, Paul, and their son Zeke. They were expecting a daughter in just a few months.
Oh, so
right
she was
outside
pregnant.
their home, the police found a bloodied garden shear.
Oh, please don't tell me she did what I think she did.
What awaited the police inside the house was so shocking and repulsive that one of the officers requested a period of leave from duty the very next day.
Damn.
Janice and Paul's bodies were found in the kitchen, both ruthlessly executed. The fetus had been violently cut out from Janice's stomach. Janice was then strangled to death with the umbilical cord.
What the umbilical?
Paul was found dead just a few feet away from Janice, tied to the kitchen counter with his mouth sewn shut.
What?
The fetus was found in pieces scattered all around the house.
Oh my gosh,
During the autopsy, they found the head of the fetus shoved down Paul's throat.
What?
He died from asphyxiation, choking
on his unborn daughter. Damn monster, bro.
On his own unborn
You can see why the freaking person had to take a leave of duty.
Inside the house, there was also a painting. Its title has been painted over, except for the word pipes.
Pipes.
This is the painting. Police later managed to track down the real address of Isabel Jackson, though they were too late. The headless body of Bruce Jackson was found right by the open front door. He had been stabbed in the chest 7 times.
Why the hell did she do this?
Where one would expect to find his head, the painting was there instead. It was titled Infinite M.A.W. Bruce.
Bruce.
This is the painting.
Oh, hell
Isabel was found murdered inside the bathroom. The lock to the door has been completely destroyed by a hammer drill.
What the?
Isabel suffered multiple skull fractures and a hole was drilled directly through her frontal lobe.
Damn.
A rolled up note had been put inside of the hole. The note read, "I live where I can't breathe and I eat without teeth. what am I?
What?
A pivotal clue emerged at the crime scene, unraveling new possibilities in the investigation. The presence of 2 sets of footprints in the blood suggests that there was more than one culprit.
Oh, so
the police now firmly believe that whoever is behind these murders does not work alone. As for why Isabel gave her address leading to another murder is still a mystery. Isabel's 911 call stands as one of the most disturbing calls ever recorded. What you are about to hear may be very distressing.
Oh man, what the hell? Can't hear what she's saying, bro. So freaking scared, man.
Okay, good. Are you able, do you know they're there?
Oh man.
Okay, man.
She knows they're there, bro.
I need you to stay calm for me, okay? What's your name? Isabel Jackson. Okay, Isabel, do you have anything to say or something?
What the hell? Oh man.
Isabel, do you have anything to defend yourself with?
What the hell?
Okay, listen, stay calm. I don't know what it is in the bathroom.
This is insane, bro. What the
Isabel?
That is freaking crazy, bro. That gave me the damn chills, man. What the hell?
بعرف انك انت ساحرة.
Jen caught a camera.
طب
hell no.
اشوف وجهك. تعالي 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 تعالي. تعالي تعالي.
Back away. What the?
كيف تاكلي هون وكيف تعملي؟
Why the hell would you go in that cave?
أعوذ بالله.
This is insane, bro. Kiss me, James. What the hell?
صوتك غريب أو صوتك غريب. أنا شاك في أمرك.
Back out of that cave, bro.
طلع. ركزوا على رجليها ركزوا عند رجلها.
Look at that damn feet. What the hell?
والله ما هي وجه بشرية يا
أخوان. Don't look human.
بسم الله. سلام قول من رب الرحيم. أخوان من الجهتين. من
What the hell? That's insane, bro. YouTube, man, like I said, that's it, man, for this creepy TikTok video for you guys today, man. Like I said, these freaking TikToks, man, they give me freaking chills, man. Like I said, tell me in the comment section down below, guys, what's the most scariest one, man. Like I said, at the end of the video, it's always up to you guys what that decides that fake was the reality, man. Like I said, we're trying to grow this channel, we're trying to grow the community, man. So just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. It's free, only takes 5 seconds, man. Like I said, I love you after the content like this. Hopefully you guys join me on my journey. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.